kind of mentioned a few times. Nobody needs to check this.
Yeah.
Besides me.
Yeah. Okay, it's 11 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. Any public comment?
I,
Yeah, Bill.
I don't know if you saw it, but the House Speaker of the House, Brendan Lear, wants to move the health case, to Sydney. You have any opinion about that?
Hell case 2.
Huh?
The hell case 2.
Yeah,
It's number 2.
number 2.
Hell case number 2.
Do you have any comment about how important that case is? Or
It's pretty important, and it'd be good to get it to Eastern Montana where the judges understand the environmental impacts. That's my opinion, personal opinion.
With that going on. Put that hearing on.
Oh, it's the 6 kids that sued the state of Montana on thing of clean air.
Clean air, yeah.
And so it pulls up a lot of the permitting and all that.
Oh, I thought.
And now there's a number 2 case on it,
Oh, yeah.
the second go round on it.
Right.
Because the legislation kind of watered it down and made it so it was doable, usable, or applicable to Montana, and now they're trying to do some more.
And a new bill, if, correct me if I'm wrong, a new bill says the defendant can ask for the case to be moved to where he wants it to be moved, where they want it to be moved. So that's why they wanted to, they think they have the right to move it to Sydney.
Move it out of the Helen, Missoula area to northeastern Montana where they understand the environmental impacts. So yeah, could be, they have high implications to how we do business in oil, gas, and coal country.
And you said 20% of our income is oil, right?
20% of our revenue right now is oil money. $5 million of our $20 million budget that we spent. We have a $30 million total budget, but that's reserves. And a lot of that oil money goes in reserves.
Any other public comment? Public comment, seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner updates. Start with Doug.
Oh, I went to tribal council meeting with Gordon last week, but I'll let him explain that. He's a little better on explaining that.
Okay.
And that was about it last week.
Right.
I was out of town.
911. Yeah, that was that the week prior.
That was week prior.
Okay. Gordon.
Yeah, I guess on the update on we went to the land committee and they're wanting money for sewer project. They have a $1.4 million sewer project in the town of Brockton. And they have federal dollars to do the whole project. But they don't have the money to pay the engineer fees, and engineer fees are 10%. So they need about $130,000 to the town of Brockton for engineer fees. Oversee the project, design the project, and make sure it's all done right. And so they were kind of asking if the community of Brockton had any money. Well, community of Brockton has some money, but IHS said they'd probably come up with the funds to pay for that. So the IHS will check to see if that funds. Have you heard if they actually did or not?
No,
They said they'd know within a week or so.
Yeah, I was gonna get a hold of that guy, but.
So IHS said they would see if they could come up with funds to pay for the engineer, which that's great because what I kind of commented on Culbertson, the community of Brockton has about plus or minus $200,000 in the bank right now. But we have just signed a contract with Bishop to do $190,000 valve and hydrant replacement. So the money that community of Brockton has in the enterprise funds are very spent. And you got to remember in 2017 when we took over Brockton, they were $120,000 in the hole. And we paid off all those loans to the tribe, and then we just absorbed the other stuff here in the county, and now we gotten it, so there's 200,000 in the bank in the positive, so we have came a long ways there. But anytime you have a project, it takes lots of money, so that money is gonna be used for valves and hydrants, which hopefully that'll help the pressure problem, which we've had issues with there. Plus, there's four hydrants that don't work, we better get those fixed. If we ever have a fire, then we have a hydrant to use. So that project's gonna be done this summer. And during that meeting, I guess that committee voted to have Bishop do the sewer project. So he'll do the sewer project and this water project at the same time. I think it still has to go to full council to get voted on. Don't know if that's happening.
And did they approve it yesterday?
Oh, did they? Okay. So that committee was going to go to full council for that. So that's a done deal. Then Bishop will be doing the water and sewer in Brockton this summer. So that's good news. And then whilst we were there, we talked to Wilford Lambert just on this, buying this barber shop area and cleaning that up. The way this Montana statute reads, we cannot give it to the tribes. Like, we can give land to the city of Wolf Point, but we can't give land to the tribes, which that's just part of the statute. So we set the price of all those properties at $1,000. So hopefully the tribes will come in and buy it for $1,000, process, and then they'll own that land. Unless somebody within the community wants to come in and pay it, it'll be a bid process. So it'll be open to anybody who wants to bid on it at the deed sale, which is April 5th.
Yeah, 6th.
April 6th. So anybody can bid on it. But and if that doesn't work, we'll go to Plan C. I mean, we've had some discussion with the cities, which I still don't know if the mayor's for or against this. I mean, we said both things all at the same sentence. But that's neither here nor there. So we did talk to both entities there, but it was mostly on the broad water projects that we were talking about with the tribes. And I guess the rest of my stuff is probably with NACO, National Association of Counties. Me and Doug had a meeting with a gentleman from NACO, Jeffrey, on the tribal ID being used for if they ever have proof of citizenship to register. And that's kind of maybe going a little ways. And then this PILT payment for land going from fee to trust, NACO already has a stance on that, which is for it. So we just gotta proceed, maybe find someone to carry the bill. So that's kind of, they're both are kind of still moving forward. But Save America Act, which is this, you have to have proof of citizenship when you're registered to vote, is part of that bill. Plus you have to have ID when you vote. There's two separate entities there, and people are kind of confusing those two things. But NACO is kind of against it because they are against it because they have it has unfunded mandates for the election offices. It has insufficient implementation of timeline. It has criminal penalties for the election workers. And has lack of flexibility to diverse local election systems. So that's why NACO's against it. That penalties for election workers is a big one. So them need to be changed in the Save America Act, and I don't know where that's going to end up. It's going to just die, but the president's really pushing to make it happen. So I don't know where that's going. I mean, Bill was on that call too, and it was pretty interesting visiting with how the politics and all this is going. It's kind of a mess. And then with NACO, I had two conference calls, one on the Rural Action Caucus and then one on Western Region meetings. So there was two Zoom calls I had last week, which they're all pretty interesting. And then we had a meeting with on the OMS shop in Culbertson. We're gonna set up, I sent the governor a request to meet face-to-face April 7th or April 9th. I'll be in Helena, so hopefully we can get a meeting set up with the governor to talk about getting some funding for that, us purchasing the OMS shop from the state of Montana. More to come later in our business. That's all I had.
Okay, for me, just to elaborate on what Gordon had said with the land committee and the property, the green property. Through that last meeting, through the discussion, kind of towards the end of the meeting, I made a comment that we were just in the infant stage of this, and that was part of it. Seeing if we could transfer that property to the tribes. That was the beginning of it. Well, unfortunately, through the MCA, they don't acknowledge the tribes as a government entity. And I know yesterday, we visited with Tom, and he was going to see if he could read through the MCA codes and maybe put something together. Gordon's through his connections, and maybe send that to legislature to where they could change something.
Yeah, Mako would carry the bill to change the Montana MCA code that it would include tribes as a entity we could deal with giving land to.
So
That
that
would be
was,
a legislative change, but Mako can carry that bill.
if Mako would be willing to carry the bill, Tom was gonna get with some folks with Mako, so hopefully from county government working, allowing, kind of fighting for the tribes on this, that Montana and the MCA acknowledge them as a government entity. I think that would be a good thing. The other thing Gordon had mentioned, and he was kind of on the PILT payment side of things, kind of a afterthought, but he's going to see if maybe if that goes through, county and city be included in that PILT payment, and that would alleviate some of the pressure on the cities if in all the way across the state of Montana, not only here, but if some of that houses in trust, that would alleviate some of the tax pressure off the city. So thanks to Gordon for bringing that up. I think that'll go a long way too if we can include the city in there on that PILT payment side of things. That'll alleviate that, and if we can get something put together with our county attorney to include the tribes as a recognized government entity through the Montana code, that'll help us all out moving forward. So aside from that, just keeping tabs on emails. We have a little dark spot in here. I guess after we had left, we had a light bulb that started on fire, so they caught that early enough to say that's a little behind the scenes. So moving on, are there any corrections to the minutes of the public meeting in March 17th? Go ahead. Oh, Bill.
Since the commissioners have changed the property valuation of the green property over here from what it would have been listed as back taxes or whatever, if you lower that property value down that much, because it is kind of a radical change up until now, are you going to put something in there on the quitclaim deed or whatever process you would use, that there should be some guarantee that this property will be cleaned up within 6 months or some time frame, or you could transfer it over and it's going to sit just like it is for the next 5 years?
I don't know if we could
Personal private rights.
put stipulations on it. I don't know. That would be an attorney.
We could, I mean, you can't.
Well,
I know where you're coming from.
yeah.
We're selling property and we can't restrict what people do on their personal property. Unless you want us to tell you what to do.
Well, it there and again, it's in the city limits, and there are a lot of codes which are totally unenforceable, as you can tell. But that's what I was wondering with the way that property value was,
It was offered at full price taxable value, and we didn't have one person even come to the sale, let alone bid on it.
yeah.
So the MCA code says we can lower it down to whatever the value we feel people will buy it at.
Well, I think you're too high.
Well, we talked about $10. But we figured we'd put it at 1,000, so it looks like it's at least reasonable now.
Well, the reason,
And after that, we can go down to $10. That's
Wow.
what, that'd be plan C.
that one ended up being taken by Roosevelt County for taxes because of, there was a lot of interest in it, if my memory is
Yeah.
correct. People were wanting that property. They wanted to do something with it, so, I think it was Gary and I and Gordon thought it would be good to take that for tax deed. There was a lot of people that wanted it. We could sell it on a tax deed sale and it would get cleaned up. That didn't happen. That's why I was pretty excited when OEP reached out and they wanted to do something with it. I thought, okay, after not having any interest in it, after we took it, nobody's interested in it. I think Doug got the phone call. We went down and met with Wilford. OEP has the money. I thought this is gonna be the deal. We had the meeting, y'all were here. That meeting didn't have the joyous outcome as I thought it would. And then finding out, so hopefully whoever gets it, yes, Bill, I agree with you, cleans it up. I wish we could put stipulation on there within 12 months, it's cleaned up to dirt, but it's just kind of out of our hands.
And once it goes that way, if it does, then the property comes off the city tax rolls also.
If it goes into trust,
Yeah,
yes.
thank you.
But I think the benefits outweigh, the benefit of it coming off the tax roll will definitely outweigh what we're looking at now.
If you use brownfield money to clean that up, it's gonna be a bill that's huge. So Point landfill doesn't want it.
If you look at $400,000 in cleanup, let's just say at the city specials, I know on 3 of our lots are $300 a piece, bare dirt. You get down to bare dirt, it's gonna take a lot of years to offset that $400,000.
No, I understand that.
So,
Wondering if you could tie something in there to make sure it does get cleaned up though.
you buy it, Bill, and then clean it up and then resell it.
I'll tell you what, I'll buy it. You have the equipment out at your place to clean it up. So then when we sell it, we split the profit.
That was recorded.
Well, remember who's gonna clean it up?
Okay, moving down to the minutes, any correction to the minutes of March 17th, 2026? Any corrections?
Motion to accept is printed.
Motion to accept as printed. Do you have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Claims, March 19th, 2026, in the amount of $155,926.35. Do we have a motion? Motion to accept. Motion to accept, with a second. Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Moving down to pay raise. This will be a correction. My apologies for not mentioning it earlier. Annual pay raise for Health Department employee Amy Keller.
Motion to accept is given.
Motion to accept. Do we have a second? Any discussion? This will be moving her up one range from grade 3 range 6 to grade 3 range 7. Any other discussion? Motion to approve.
Okay.
For vote, I guess. We got an aye. All in favor? I was wondering why that was slow. Motion passed. Moving down into new business. This Southwest Montana Consulting, I know we have, I think Van is on. Would you like to introduce yourself, Van? Tell us a little bit about your company before we get into this.
Howdy, folks. Yeah, so I'm Van Puckett. This is my business partner.
Howdy, I'm Zach.
And then my daughter Delilah is works with us also. She's a sanitarian and cleaning. Been working with us for a few months. She's online as well. Yeah, we're both.
Talk a little closer to your mic. We can't really hear you.
Okay, we're both
There,
armed,
now we get
and we're both veterans. So this is a veteran-owned company, and we help out folks that are in a situation like yours, so just in between sanitarians. And so I don't know if you checked out with any of the other commissioners of the counties that we help out, but you're more than welcome to do so. And we're pretty much, we work for you. So if you want us to do, the land use as well as the licensed establishments, we'll do whatever you need us to do.
Okay. Thanks for the introduction. We need action on Southwest Montana Consulting Incorporated service contract for sanitarian service. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we use Southwest Consulting for our licensing of businesses and our sanitation consulting for our planning.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Do we have any further discussion?
I'm excited.
I see Jenny's over there smiling. She's
Yeah, Jenny is with our health department director, and she did talk to some of the counties.
I
Ray County.
did. I spoke with Teton County and Melissa has great things to say about all of you.
Oh, great.
Good.
Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
I guess my biggest question is, do you have the capacity to do this?
Yes. We spend a lot of time on the road, but for the most part, so we do have other counties, and it looks like a lot, but some of what we do is hybrid contracts. So we don't do it like in Teton. Most of their land use stuff is covered by their planner. We help them out a little bit with their land use, and then in a couple of the other counties, we just do licensed establishments. So just doing the inspections. But, we have a couple of different things we can offer as far as how we do this. And we like to, we're also taxpayers. So we like to be cognizant of that and good stewards of the taxpayers' money. So we like to do things as efficiently as possible, such as, when we're in a neighboring county or a nearby county, we share the mileage cost, and we try to get in and out, and we generally work pretty long days so we can get a lot of inspections done in that day and give you a bigger bang for the buck. So one of the things that we were kind of kicking around with you folks is just like maybe all three of us heading up there and knocking out as many inspections as we can. The school inspections have to be done twice a year, and then depending on like other entities, they have some scheduling deadlines as well. But and then maybe coming up during like the Stampede, I'm pretty excited about that. My dad was born and raised in Wolf Point, so it's been a long time since I've been to a Stampede. So just being but being aware of that and getting all those inspections done. So it kind of depends on how you want to pay. We're either if you want to schedule it with us, that's fine. So if we have one big chunk, we can kind of meter that out over a few months, or we can do a little bit at a time. That's totally up to you and whatever works.
So it would be just, as you do it, you invoice, and we pay invoices every 2 weeks. So it's just, as
Okay.
however you bill up your monthly billing, or after a session you've done up here, you just submit a bill at $110 an hour, and we pay it. We'll do this for a year, and we'll reevaluate after a year and see how things are going. And
That sounds great.
Sounds
Yeah.
great.
my question is, we're 60% tribal land, 40% non. All the non are pretty much state, and the tribes are mixed. With either they have a state license, or they need to be state inspected, or they're tribal inspected. You've dealt with some of that.
Yeah, right now we have Sanders County that has the Hot Springs area. I'm pretty familiar with it. I used to teach school in Browning, and I've done a lot of medical education. I'm also an Army Reserve nurse, so I've done some medical education up in Belknap. So pretty familiar with the process.
Okay. No, it sounds great. And just to reiterate, it's $110 an hour, 130 on call, and per diem at $200 a night. Just if a guy wants to make sure that's in the minutes. Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion passed. We'll get you in contact with Jenny from Public Health. We'll get information swapped around and thank you guys so much for reaching out and welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you
Thanks,
for
bud.
having us.
All right, take care.
Take care, everyone.
Reach out if you have any questions.
Will do.
Alright.
Moving on, action on consideration to purchase the Culbertson Readiness Center and OMS shop. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to commit to purchasing the OMS and Army in Culbertson for $1,080,000. Less any money we get from the state of Montana, less money we get from the Culbertson Fire Department and the city of Culbertson.
Okay, motion's been made. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Motion in a second. Any discussion on that?
It's like I say, it's really hard to know exactly how much we're gonna have to spend on this, but kind of some figures I'm working on now. If we do not get any money from the state, we have $100,000 in LATEP. What's the initials on that?
LATCF.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's $100,000 committed to it there already. We have our oil revenue, which last quarter was $500,000 more than we got last year at this time. So it'll be oil between the oil money, oil revenue, which we don't count in our budget right as of now, and that LTAP money and the Culbertson Fire Department has been saving some money for this. And the city of Culbertson will kick in some, so it'll probably be like a 70-30 split. Plus or minus in there, all that's still kind of up in the air until I have this meeting with the governor in April. But guards wanted a motion on the book so they can start their process of getting this to the land board. So it can be a done deal by December 31st. So does that kind of wrap up with that?
Yeah. They needed a motion on this to keep things going on the state side. If they didn't have a motion from Roosevelt County, a commitment to further for them, they were not gonna be able to proceed forward. They would like to have this wrapped up by year end 2026. But they said it could, they'll be out of there by then. They can push it out into the.
And even this is about a $3 million plus asset, and we're getting per $1 million. So it's a deal that we really can't let go no matter what the price is, if you ask me. I mean, it'd be so important to the Roosevelt County, the Culbertson Fire Department, Roosevelt County, with the fair being right there and use of that shop, Army with the fair, and just Roosevelt County use of that facility.
It ties that property in, pretty nice down there. Culbertson's got some funds. We've been very fortunate with some oil money. I know the sheriff's office has been looking for an office in that Culbertson area forever. This would be a great place to house them. Public health goes down there. There would be an office for public health in there.
Could be, I mean, there's one in the county building right now.
We've got one little one.
You know, so,
But it's all set up with sound guard and it's made for that.
you know, so I think there's definitely some room. Some room needed down there,
For sure, push the food bank out into this new spot and free up that area.
you know, so I think it's one of those things, once you have it, you will find purposes for it. I think all of our hopes is the state or the governor will give us some assistance on it, which will lessen our overall expense out, but this was just part of a commitment that they needed to proceed forward. Otherwise, they were pretty stagnant on there and there wasn't anything they can do. So
So it's 1.8 million?
1,080,000, just north of 1 million.
Okay.
So it should say in that.
yeah, I think it's
1,080,000.
1,085,000.
1,085,000.
So if some improvements probably will have to be made and stuff, if that happens.
Not really.
You
It's
don't
ready to
think
go.
so? Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be an additional, we're gonna have to have somebody cleaning it. We're gonna have to have someone mowing the grass, someone cleaning the sidewalks. you know, hopefully we can make a deal with Culbertson on some of that because they'll have the fire department right there.
But the building itself is ready to go. you
Yeah,
think?
it's being used right now and it's a huge kitchen, showers. It'd be ideal for emergencies if we have a disaster. You got a kitchen and bathrooms and cots and all that right there. Generators.
And I would guess for DES, especially with the oil activity over there, when you bring that up, if there's a disaster over there, there's gonna,
Staging location be ideal.
you know, there's some of that stuff in there that just, we don't really think of at the time, but, and the other thing I really wanna make note, especially for Bill, this is a state, as I asked, this is a state-owned piece of property, and through the MCA, they cannot accept anything less than the appraised price. Cause I asked, trust me. So the price is pretty much fixed there. Even if they went out to bid, they will not sell it for a dime less than that $1,085,000. And that's in MCA code. So I think we can do it. And the other thing, to reiterate on Gordon, when he talks about the Culbertson Fire Department, you gotta remember that a lot of those trucks down there are also Roosevelt County trucks being housed in a Culbertson building.
They're all except one.
So
City pumper's the only one that's in this.
this is a big benefit to Roosevelt County Fire, which I've seen Culbertson Fire Department fighting fires up in our area, so one city truck and the city's willing to kick in pretty good chunk of money to help house the county equipment too, so, yeah. We have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Alright,
Post same sign. Motion passes,
so we need to write a letter to this. The guards.
Yep.
We have a number.
I have
With the
a,
motion and, minutes.
I have a note somewhere, so we need to send the minutes off and the description, and we'll get that sent off so they can proceed forward on their side of things, so. Any other business? Seeing none, motion to close. Motion, we have second. Second, we are closed. Thank you all so much for coming.